All right, Congress has obviously vacated much of Capitol Hill, but we need to tell you right now that there is an ominous shadow continuing to loom over the Capitol, holding the lingering question right above it. Will we see tax cuts happen before 2017 expires? As promised, joining us now, New York Congressman Representative Chris Collins, who voted yes to pass the House version of the tax reform bill. We began at the top of this program, sir, with the fact that there are now 5 to 6, possibly even 7 senators right now who are no or maybe votes. You are a yes vote. I need to know right now what you think the final bill will look like. Will it be more to what you had voted yes on or more to what the Senate votes on?
Well, Liz, it's good to be with you, and I was very happy to vote on legislation that would reduce taxes for 95 to 98% of my constituents. And with all of the discussion on the state and local tax issue, 95% of my constituents will be taking the standard deduction, which is doubled. So we need to, get honest reporting on this being truly a middle-class tax cut, which many Democrats don't want to admit. But when it comes to our differences between our bill and the Senate bill, they are not that large. We have four brackets. They have 7. They're treating pass-through entities a little different, which is why Ron Johnson's not happy. I actually like the Senate bill better when it comes to that. They've added back the medical deduction expense for those itemizing that may have catastrophic medical expenses. I actually like that better. So when we look at the two, there are a lot of differences. I don't call them major differences. Probably the biggest difference is they're repealing the individual mandate under Obamacare, which, again, I support that. It created an extra pool of money to do things like write off medical expenses. So, again, I think that was a good move. They're pushing the 20% cut on corporate taxes out 1 year, again, to raise some additional monies to include what we think are some common sense solutions. So, frankly, I like, with the exception of the pass-through entities, I like what's going on with the Senate plan. But I think the numbers, Liz, work. We could lose 22 votes in the House and still pass.
Well, they can't lose that many, sir. And I must say
that's right. So that's why I believe what we're going to see myself will be a 90% of the 90% of the Senate bill, maybe 10 to 20% of ours. I hope we get our pass-through piece. But because the margin's so skinny in the Senate, they're going to carry the day. I think that's obvious.
Right.
But
well,
the
I've got to jump in here. We're limited on
great.
time because of Sarah Sanders' news conference. But, sir, I must ask, Collins, no relation, but I believe no relation, Senator Susan Collins of Maine has said that she would be more comfortable with a plan on the Senate side of 22% corporate tax cut instead of 20%, and then leaving the state and local tax deduction within the plan. You are from one of those states where people take that. I know you are okay with this. You're okay with the elimination of that deduction, but I must tell you there are more than a lot of people simply saying this is the most politically oriented tax bill ever because there's a transference of wealth from the blue states, the high tax states like California, New York, to the red states. What do you say to battle that? Because it looks like a punishment of middle-class taxpayers in blue states.
Well, it goes back to our governor's millionaires tax, where we're taxing people at 8.82%. Where Pennsylvania's 3%, Florida's 0, Texas is 0. Even a state like Massachusetts is 5%. So we have egregious taxes on what we call the millionaires tax, which never seems to sunset, even though it is. So our governor and Albany politics are driving the wealthy out of our state, and it's not changing. My constituents in upstate New York, with average incomes under $60,000, living in average homes valued at $152,000, aren't taking these deductions now. So within my district, the Western New York district, it's a non-issue. But down in Long Island, the 5 boroughs, it certainly is. But also, if they change the corporate to 22 and put some things back, I would be fine with that.
Okay,
we got to get off the 35.
We've got to end it there. I so appreciate you waiting and staying in the chair. Congressman Chris Collins of New York. And happy Thanksgiving to you, too.